Welcome back to the show, everybody. I took about a week break from the channel. Now I'm back, and we're going to do another identifying snakes on Facebook video here. My intention with these videos is to kind of show you how I go through and identifying snakes that are posted to Facebook groups. And show you kind of how I look at the snake. And it's not always easy to explain how identifications are made. So this is kind of a fun little challenge here for me. And hopefully it helps you also learn as well. So we'll jump right into the group on Facebook, Snake Identification Group. And I'll put the link in the video description for all of my groups that I showcase here on YouTube. So Derek posted this from Texas, the snake. So right away I could see kind of a grayish brown on brown snake with markings going down the back, roundish markings. And right away my brain starts to process the snakes of that region in Texas, what could possibly have these round markings. And then I look at the head and I see a dark mass going through the eye. Seems to be something going on with the snake's lower jaw, maybe. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's injured. But I can also make out a large overhanging scale over the eye, kind of angular features there to the snout, to the face, to the front of face there. That indicates a ridge called the Canthus rostralis. And these are features of a pit viper. And already I knew that this was a desert Massasauga, which is a species of rattlesnake that kind of have these roundish, almost like heart-shaped, or some people say like a peanut-shaped marking going down the back. The dark facial markings. The ridge that you can make out here on the face. And then just to confirm, yes, the snake has a rattle. Desert Massasauga in Texas. Next one here from Alabama. First impression of the snake is the evenly spaced reddish markings going down the sides of the snake. Relatively dark on top. And we can see that those rough scales, the keeled scales, giving that kind of file appearance to the end of the tail here. We can see those rows of rough scales, and the tail tapers out to a thin tip. Then we take a look at the head. We can see a dark angular stripe going there behind the eye, and some lighter markings on the face there on the jaw. Here's another angle of the snake. Same markings are visible here. So when we take into account the location and all of these markings, this is a banded water snake, Nerodia fasciata. Phoenix, Arizona. Here is a snake floating in somebody's pool, and diamond-shaped markings going down the back. The scales do appear to be keeled, rough, if you will, and then that angular stripe going down from the eye to the jaw, with the white on the edges, a hint of raised supraocular scales. This is a western diamondback rattlesnake. Now we'll hop on over to Wild Snakes Education and Discussion, the education-based snake group, educating people about wild snakes for almost 10 years. And next September will be 10 years. Oh, and real quick, check out this eastern indigo snake. 7 foot 4 inches. Massive, massive snake. Usually considered the longest snake in the United States, with some debate on bull snakes or certain subspecies of gopher snake maybe being around the same size. But man, look at this amazing, amazing specimen. Over 7 feet long, eastern indigo, non-venomous. They hunt down other snakes, including venomous snakes, and they just simply overpower them, grab them by the head, usually crushing the skull, and eating other snakes. Truly an amazing species we have here in the United States. Here's one from Central Florida, an ID request. Here's a snake eating a squirrel. Kind of a dirty yellow, mustard yellow body with dark striping going down the length of the snake. Kind of a squared off snout and large, what I call bug eyes. And what we have here is an eastern rat snake, also known as a yellow rat snake, non-venomous. They feed largely upon mammals, especially as adults, birds and bird eggs, but just opportunistic. Squirrels are an important part of the rat snake's diet throughout their range, and this rat snake has caught itself and constricted a squirrel. Here's another one from Savannah, Georgia. ID, please. And sometimes it's just very easy. A green snake. There's really only 2 species of snake in the United States that are green. And one of them is semi-arboreal. Spends a lot of time in the trees and low vegetation, as we can see here. And this is a long, lanky snake. Emerald green with a white throat, a white to yellowish throat. And this is a rough green snake. Non-venomous. They feed mostly on invertebrates, especially spiders and caterpillars. Birmingham, Alabama, another ID request. And this snake is a combination of browns and grays. It has a light mid-dorsal stripe and bordered by small black dots that sometimes connect in the middle. Kind of a broken little connection there. The photo's blurry, but we can see the head markings with the dark markings on a light head under the eye. And this combination of the coloring and the markings point to a Decay's brown snake. A very common little snake in eastern United States. Non-venomous. They eat slugs, snails, earthworms, insect larvae, grubs, stuff like that. Great little snake to have around on your property, in your garden. It's a beneficial species that's completely harmless, but a lot of people mistake these little snakes for a baby rattlesnake or a baby copperhead. And I'll leave you today with a little portrait shot of a yellow-bellied sea snake in Myanmar. Very interesting looking snake, a very cool snake that leads an interesting life out in the open ocean. Venomous elapid, and they spend pretty much, the species at least spends its entire life in the water. They even mate and give birth in the open ocean. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. That's my goal with each and every video. Please join us in the groups that were featured today. The link to those groups will be down in the video description. Please subscribe to the channel, share the videos, and help me spread education. And I'll see you on Facebook. Learn about snakes. Snakes are cool, and they deserve our respect.